you what, I'm excited to get out there.
Yeah.
Okay, I am excited to get out there to Oregon because it is beautiful once you get there, and the people are very enthusiastic and they love ball out there. And they'll be out there in pitch black, which we are incredibly grateful for. It's far though. It's a far trip. We're going to Europe, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to Europe, AJ.
Further almost.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's
Great game.
I mean, at least you're going now.
I'm not even. Yeah.
Dude, think about like mid-November going there. Like at least now it'll still like not be freezing cold. Oregon is still an unbelievable team. Like there are worse times to go to Oregon.
Beautiful.
I'd be much more tired. You're talking later in the season.
Yeah,
like more exhausted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
The morning would be 20 degrees out.
Yeah. Right. We're lucky. I'm lucky to be a part of any of this. Just want to let everybody know that I feel that way. But whenever Oregon pops up on the old schedule, there is like a
come on.
We gotta go out there. Let's go. We get to go out there.
This week is
a lot
absolutely loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Huge week.
So pumped.
How was this past slate?
Chaos.
Yeah,
It actually turned out really well. We talked about how last year there was all those upsets in week 6. It turned out, there was obviously the big one this weekend. Penn State and UCLA was the ginormous, huge upset.
Penn State though losing that game.
So they were ranked second preseason, I think.
Yep.
Who was number 1?
Texas.
Oh, they lost this weekend too to Florida. They beat their ass.
Oh my God.
That was out of control to watch that. Now, everybody that I was around Friday night, full college football conversation, it felt as almost if it was a matter of fact.
It did. Yeah. It did kind of feel like that.
Like everybody I was talking to was like, tomorrow, Florida.
It's good.
Really?
Yeah, everybody, legit. That's why if you listen to us make the picks, I'm kind of like, Texas, need them. But like everybody we were around was like, Florida is, A, not an easy place to play. B, if they don't put them, like Florida's defense, good.
Yeah.
Like everybody sees DJ Lagway have like 5 picks. That's the defense keeps them in every game. Like Arch is going to have problems. And if Arch can't get going, is Florida going to be able to sneak through here with a win? It's like, yep, they certainly did. And now the conversation about Arch is loud, and obviously Napier's got another week to survive. Which is certainly good for him.
Yeah.
It's like chaos, though. Penn State loses. Texas loses to Florida. Absolute pandemonium happening around ball.
Yeah, those Florida boys, they fight for Billy Napier. But the game you were at, Bama, Vandy, it was close for a while, and then Bama kind of pulled away late. I thought Ty Simpson played incredible. Vandy played incredible, too. They just had those 2 red zone turnovers that really cost them. The score was not indicative, I don't think, of what this game was. I think, what was the final, 30 to something? Bama had a very, very late touchdown to score, but I think Ty Simpson looks really, really good. Yes, score and cover.
They had a late touchdown to score and cover, so everybody's just going to think that Alabama really dominated. There was a lot of stressful moments in Nick Saban's suite. We were lucky to be there. Nick Saban was honored for going into the College Football Hall of Fame. They gave him a plaque and a whole thing, and the place went crazy. I mean, the pop was rightfully insane. And what I've learned is getting a chance to do Alabama football stuff with Nick Saban's really cool.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I bet. It's really cool just to be able to walk wherever, talk to whoever, and even get whatever pizza we want delivered to the suite whenever we want. But where he's at, everybody knows where his suite is. So anytime anything happens, basically the entire stadium is looking up at him. So Vandy scores first, big touchdown.
Yeah.
Nick Saban stands up, tucks shirt, still has dress pants on, turns to the side and just stands like, I don't know where he was going. I honestly still don't think he's gone anywhere. I think he stayed in that spot. Wanted to get up and move, though, because he was so uncomfortable, just like so uncomfortable. Then he sits back down. He's got Miss Terry to his left. He's got Reese to his right. And then they just kind of settle back in and start watching the game. Then something bad happens, penalty or something. Everybody looks back at him for his reaction. He no-sells everything. And then whenever the good stuff happens, doesn't celebrate. So, like, bad things happen. We're all like, oh, that's terrible. Good things start happening. We're like, let's go. Nothing. Just, we got long games here still. So he is still,
invested.
He is
locked in
those games, dude. He was very, very kind to Miss Terry and Nick to take care of us, and the hospitality was absurd. But on that note about Vandy, Vandy's a good team.
They are.
Vandy's a very good team. Diego's a dog. Obviously, mad respect to him and everything that they've built over there. But Bama is real. It feels like Bama is real again.
They are. And then the team that is definitely real, Miami headed to Florida State. And the defense put the clamps on early. And then Malachi Toney, the freshman wide receiver, just put on an absolute show. That's not him there. That is C.J. Daniels. The celebrations all night were awesome. Here's an interception by Miami, and then the next 2 touchdowns were by Malachi Toney, the freshman wide receiver for Miami, and Carson Beck looked really good.
They look fast. They look strong. They look explosive. They look the part.
Yeah.
Miami looks the part. And Malachi Toney hadn't scored a touchdown since week 1. Who gave me that stat?
I think I shot you that one.
That was Darius.
But
I sent D-Butt. I get the Miami offense film breakdown that I'm going to do for game day. I send it over to D-Butt and AQ. Each week, I get like what my clip is going to be. I send it to D-Butt and AQ. This week felt a little bit more personal for Darius. There's a little personal stats, little personal ideas in there. And big play waiting to happen is what you called Malachi Toney, the rookie freshman over there.
yeah, we all saw him week 1 against Notre Dame. They even called back probably his best touchdown play with the illegal motion or whatever it was. But yeah, he is a big play waiting to happen. He reminds me a lot of another Miami legend, our former teammate T.Y. Hilton. And whenever he gets the ball, whether it's just a quick screen or a deep ball down the field, he can make that type of play. And he does the dirty work too. He'll get in there and block. You saw on C.J. Daniels' screen that he took to the crib. 10 made a huge block. So yeah, they are a team that can win in a variety of ways. They can run the ball down your throat. They can air it out. And then on defense, with Ruben Bain and Messidor, I mean, they are just monsters. So DBs, if the DBs can show up and continue to make those plays on the back end, this team will be very, very tough to beat. Now, ideally, for Miami Hurricanes fans, we'll have Miami and we'll have Ohio State. And then they'll meet in the national championship.
Get back.
And then sweet
Revenge.
revenge, AJ Hawk. And I'm looking forward to it because Ohio State had another, monster blowout as well.
Yeah, so I actually said a couple times on game day because it was my job to talk about that game. Hey, don't let Minnesota give Ohio
You
State.
said PJ Flex like golf.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. That was good.
Isn't that right, though?
One good shot, yeah.
There's like one good thing that happens, and it brings you back for the next year. It's like, this could be the big thing. Now, was I saying that strictly because I was to talk about that particular game, and what should I say about that particular game other than that? But for Ohio State to just go out and handle business the way they did, I mean, that says a lot about your team.
Yep.
Traveled to Washington last week. That's a long trip. You just killed a team that had a 22 home game win streak. You beat their soul out.
Yeah.
And then you got Minnesota just waiting for you, kind of looming, lingering. Are you going to go ahead and let this one kind of slip past the goalie? They bury them, AJ. Number 1 team in the country still for good reason.
Yeah, they're in like a weird spot though, like where you're almost using games as an elevated practice for your team to like work on certain things. That's not like a disrespectful thing. Like Minnesota's a good team, they really are. But you have so much talent. I guess when your defense is playing so well, you don't have that as much pressure on your offense. And yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about Matt Patricia and the studs that Ohio State has on defense because they are very fun to watch, fundamentally sound, fast as lightning, and super physical.
They're averaging 5.5 points per game going into this game. It's dropped down to 5 now, I believe, is where it's at. They're giving up only 5 points per game, not even a touchdown, let alone an extra point. That's what they're happening. And then I rattled off some of the names. This was a Tone Diggs special going into game day. He's like, hey, this defense might be best of all time. And then you just think of the names that are still there. Sonny Styles, obviously, you got Caleb Dons and all the boys there. It's just like it's a who's.
Arvell Reese, number 8, Arvell Reese. There's a guy that keeps showing his closing speed on Twitter, showing clips of him. The guy, not only is he, I think he's like 6'4", 235, can run like a madman. Like he's such a good player.
Sean Perkins, legend at Ohio State. Before first game day, I'm walking onto the stage. I go, hey, just one last thing for me to say up there. I'm always asking the local people, like, hey, what is something? And he said, number 8, Arvell Reese is the one. And I go, okay, and I completely forget about it. I think he had 5 sacks or something that day, or 4 sacks.
Defensive lineman, stuff like that. And then
the coordinator, too.
Yeah, and the coordinator. And they're like, oh, they're going to be up. Yes, the Arvell Reese, Caden Curry, I think, has 5 sacks. So, like, they just got to wait in the wings.
And Ryan Day, the way he's talking, I like the way he's talking. He talked about and a lot of people are saying it's a new Ryan Day, but he's basically talking about like right now.
Think about how you're on those dudes every single day because they are so good and everyone's pumping them up. Like, I bet he is coaching those boys tough. Practice is not easy over there.
I assume he's called a lot of Saban dynasty people.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, how do I
Kirby?
What is the goal? Kirby, Bill, and New England.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Bill and UNC is an absolute. I already did my Collinsworth thing. I don't want to do it to Bill too.
Man, that was just sad though how after you guys talked to him on game day and it's like, okay, nice. here we go, and then Clemson
first play
has like a 75-yard touchdown on the first play. It's just like, oh boy, here we go again, and
they really stink.
They do,
It's so bad. think he already has more 25-point losses than like Mac Brown had in his whole run, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I mean,
it's everything.
We kind of saw that. I mean, at least I saw that with Clemson coming in 1-3.
Yeah.
Almost
Dabo getting his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like a get right game. I mean, it sucks to see Belichick in that type of.
Is there any hope, D-Butt? Do they have any hope?
No.
Oh, hold on. I called some source
Says.
and because Bill said at the end of the interview with us on game day, he said, we're just trying to get a recruiting class. We haven't even had a recruiting class yet. I think there is a thought that their recruiting class is through the draft is how that's kind of being viewed. Remember, high school is like draft, free agency is the transfer portal. I think they feel like they got to build culture through draft, kind of is how they're thinking. So I think they are very focused on recruiting. And there's a chance that the sales pitch is like, hey, you can be the one that helps us turn this. You can get playing time. So they think they're going to do, I think, this is not directly from horse's mouth, but this is pretty close there. It's like they still very much believe that, yes, it's going to take some time. He even answered to me like, it's a process. It's going to take longer than we thought it was. But I think they're trying to build through recruiting when you're hearing a lot of other people potentially transfer portal stuff. So will it be a viable option? We shall see.
That's what Clemson was trying to do, right?
Yeah.
And they get
for a little while.
the cream of the crop. So when you're playing, when you're talking, everything you're doing at the college level is recruiting. So like that game, they maybe had some big time recruits there. Oh, yeah,
Not anymore.
They kept running an interview of a student. I don't know if you guys kept seeing this. It was hilarious.
I did not. What happened?
They were interviewing a student going to break, and the student was like, I was here for the TCU game, and it's so bad. It was
it's the worst moment
on
I've
the
had.
stadium?
They said it's the worst moment I've had on campus, and I failed my physics class or something like that.
What?
I felt midterms before.
Yikes.
Hold on. Is this the interview right here that we're showing? No, this is not it. Okay.
It was weird. It was kind of like
It was on the stadium?
It was
No,
like
no,
a
no,
cut
it was on the broadcast.
Yeah, it was a cut away from the broadcast, probably like 8 seconds, and then she was like muted for maybe like the
Here it
last
is. Here
5
it is.
seconds.
We found it, Bruce.
making moves.
TCU was, I went to that game, and that was one of the saddest feelings I've had in university so far, and I've failed midterms before, so that's saying something.
Oh, boy. Why?
You want this, you got that.